Hi guys, day 3 has 2 parts to it. One part gives you a chance to review the rules that you learned from day 2 and day 1. The second part has some new formulas. So I'm going to make 2 videos, one with the review piece of it, one with the newer part. So here's the review piece. So central angles, remember, it's got the word center in it, which means the vertex is right on the center point of the circle. So the fast way to remember this is that this angle is the exact same as the arc. So if this is x, I'm going to call that x. So I'm going to say that the rule is that the angle is equal to the arc. That's it. So when you do some of these, I'll do 1 or 2 with you, and then you can practice the other ones and check the answer key on the website. Don't overthink it. So when you're looking at it, if the arc here is 80 degrees, the angle has to be 80 degrees. So same idea when you look at the next ones. Now, can it be trickier than that? Of course it can. Let me slide down a little bit. Take a look at number 3. The angle that they're showing you is this angle here, which opens up to this big old arc. So if the central angle is 270, then that big arc that I'm highlighting, that is 270. So that means that the remaining arc over here that's labeled as x, to be able to find this, you have to use the idea that the arcs all together add up to 360. So if I do 360 minus 270, that will give me the arc that I want. I'm going to change the color here. Yeah, I can't seem to find a color, whoa, that is actually representative of what's happening. I don't know if my my dot cam is a little busted or what, but we'll stick with this one. So 360 minus 270, that's going to be 90. So for this one, x should be equal to 90 degrees. Okay. And then the last 2 give you a little challenge in that you have to set up maybe a little equation to solve. So I'll do number 4 with you and then let you try number 5. So with number 4, they're saying that this arc is x, this big arc back here is 5x. So if we think about the idea that the arcs together have to equal 360, we can create an equation. So the equation I want to look at is that x plus 5x should be 360 altogether. So this would give me 6x equals 360. Divide by 6. You can mental math it or grab a calculator. Keep in mind, even the calculator on your phone can be helpful for this. So x comes out to be 60 degrees. And so when I look at the picture, this would be 60. 5 times 60, that's going to be 300. So those are the 2 pieces that you're missing. All right, that's page 1. Page 2, inscribed angles. If it's on the edge of the circle, the vertex, that's considered an inscribed angle. So you can write the rule 2 different ways. I'm going to show it in the picture though, as whatever the angle is, the arc out here is double that. So I can say that the arc is equal to 2 times the angle, or I can write it as the angle is equal to the arc divided by 2. So it depends what you're solving for. If I'm solving for the arc, double the angle. If I'm solving for the angle, cut the arc in half. So again, some of these are a little trickier than others, but if we do 1 or 2 of them together, just so you have an example shown. So here, the 104, this is your arc. So to get the angle, I'm just going to take the arc of 104 and divide it by 2. So grab your calculator if need be. That value should come out to be 52 degrees. On number 2, I'm working the opposite direction. I'm given the angle here, and what I'm looking for is the arc. So the arc, or x, is going to be 2 times the angle. So double 41, that should be 82 degrees for the arc. For some of the others, they might be multi-steppers, right? So what I mean by that, as an example, if we jump and look at one like number 4, you're given that this arc is 100, this arc is 150. To be able to figure out X, you're going to have to know what is this last arc here. So that's kind of my first step. So 100 plus 150 will give me 250. And then if I do 360 minus 250, that'll get the remaining part, which is going to be 110. Now part 2 is to say the angle is half of the arc. So X is equal to 110 divided by 2. So it should be 55 degrees. All right. Little challenge on the last one is a hint. If P is the center point, that makes that segment a diameter, which means that's 180 up top. So think about that when you try that gun. The last rule to talk about in this first video is the tangent chord angle. And that one we said actually follows the exact same rule that the inscribed angle does. So same exact thing. The angle is going to be equal, to the arc divided by 2. Or I can say that the arc is equal to 2 times the angle. I kind of like to show it as, if that's my angle, then the arc out here, that's 2 times it. I don't know, I just think it makes it easy to see. So for these last ones, I'm going to slide on up here. If they're telling you that the angle is 70, then the arc is simply double that. So 2 times 70, we should get 140. Okay. So that's going to be the arc out here. Whereas if we jump down to, let's say, number 3, again, they're giving you the information just a little bit, trickier. So P is the center point, which means this guy is a diameter again. If it's a diameter, that means this arc is 180 and that arc is 180. The second I know the measure of the arc, then all I have to do to get the angle is take the arc and divide it by 2. So that angle that we're looking at there is 90 degrees or is a right angle. So X is 90 degrees. All right. Thanks for watching. When you're ready, watch the second video so you can learn the next new formulas.